It's the Aspiring Actors Guide to New York. Yeah.
What is up, party people? It's the 4th of July. Excited to celebrate with the cast later tonight. Gonna do some fireworks. Gonna have a potluck. I'll show you guys about it later. Today we're talking about pros and cons to regional work. Mostly pros. I highly recommend that if you live in the city, you get out of the city as often as you can and do some regional work. You get to explore different parts of the country, spend some time out of the city because the city is exhausting. You will get so burnt out if you spend too much time in New York. So if you can spend 5-8 weeks out of New York, in Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, in Arizona, I'm just naming random states at this point. But get out of the city, do some regional work. I know you're saying, Kyle, I have to book regional work before I can do regional work, and that's fair. It's a fair point. I'm sorry if I'm being insensitive to people who are having a hard time booking. I'm so glad to be doing this gig right now at Mountain Playhouse. If you're gonna be in the Pittsburgh area, come check us out. It's a great cast. I'm having a great time in rehearsals so far. I think $1 Million Quartet's gonna be a hoot and a half. It's so nice to just be out here and like be in nature. Ugh. The city, you can get out to Central Park every once in a while, but even then you're still surrounded by city. Here it's just like we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, and it's so nice. I think you can probably hear like birds chirping and whatnot. You can hear the nature out here, and it's real nice. Tips and tricks if you're about to do your first regional gig. 1, pack light. Just because you're guaranteed housing doesn't mean you're guaranteed to live in the same place the whole time. I've had some nightmare contracts where we had to move 5-6 times in one contract. And of course, I had a car at that point, and like an idiot, I brought my whole life with me on this contract and I had to pack and unpack my entire life 6-7 times in the course of 11 weeks. Not fun. So if you can, try to pack as much as you need, bare minimum. I was able to pack everything I needed, including all of my recording equipment, into one bag and then a guitar. If you guys want, I can maybe try to do a packing guide, how to pack light when you're gigging on the road. 2, have an open mind. Be willing to roll with the punches. Be willing to move if they want you to get to know people. Don't let the little stuff irk you. There are going to be little minor things that maybe aren't exactly the way that you want them for each contract that you do. The good always outweighs the bad for every contract that I've been on. Even the contract that I mentioned earlier where we had to move 5-6 times, the cast that I was with for that was just so tight-knit. Shout out to Grease. Woo! If you have a car, I would say drive to the regional gigs. It's nicer to have a car than to not have one. They do have a company car for us to use, which is super nice, but we're sharing that car. Sometimes it's nice to be able to be like, I need to go do laundry. I don't want to have to talk to everybody about, hey, does anybody else need to do laundry? Bring a book to read. It's so nice to like sit outside and like just read a book, especially in the middle of the summer. Be ready to be living off grid, so to speak. Keep in mind you're not going to have great Wi-Fi necessarily wherever you go, or great cell phone service. All of your entertainment things, it may not be advisable to bring your Xbox to your regional gig because you might not be able to play online with your homies or whatever. If like me, you're big into video games, you may want to invest in like a Switch or something. I think I might want one before I go on tour. So, Ginny, for my birthday? It's an expensive birthday gift, so probably not. But if you're like an avid gym goer, I would do some research into some body weight exercises you can do while you're on tour or while you're at your regional gig. While oftentimes they do give you a gym membership, you may not be near the gym. It may be inconvenient for you to get there. So I've been following this guy, Body Weight Warrior, online. It's super helpful. Have I been doing that? No, not so much. Maybe a little bit. Companies that I would recommend working for, big fan of Prather Entertainment Group. I got to do one contract with them, and it was a dream. It was so nice. I highly recommend working at Mountain Playhouse. My experience here has been so great so far. Mason Street Warehouse, highly recommend them. Farmers Alley Theater. Most of my experience is in Michigan, so there are some great companies out there that you can work for regionally that take really good care of their actors and let you get out of the monotony of your day-to-day in the city. 10 out of 10 would recommend regional work. So thanks for coming out, guys. Chase your dreams. Next week, we're actually going to be talking about how to set up for a for a submission. I said I was going to do that this week, but I lied because I was just loving doing regional work so much right now that I wanted to talk about that instead. So here we are. So thanks for coming out. Chase your dreams. Cheers. I am not holding a beverage this time. Doesn't make sense to say cheers, but I'm doing it anyway. Cheers.